She leans across the table and tells your mom, I mean, what kind of daughter doesn't want her own mother in the delivery room? Now, this is after, to your face, your mother-in-law tells you, I'm fully on board with your birth plan. So you're like, dang it, do I have to address this or do I let it go? So Alyssa and Tyler, they're going to have a baby. They've communicated their birth plan. Everyone's on board. Basically, since they live out of state, they're going to wait to have visitors until after Tyler goes back to work. Now, Tyler's mom specifically says, yes, whatever works best for you, your new parents, we just want to support you the best way we can. No stress from us at all. But then last weekend, their parents, a few other couples, they're at a dinner party in their hometown, and Tyler's mom is singing a different tune. I'm the mother-in-law. I can't believe I'm not in the delivery room. We don't even know our travel dates yet. Like, how can we not know, like, when to book the tickets? And what about you? You're the mom. What kind of daughter doesn't want her own mother in the delivery room? I just don't get it. This generation. So this vented frustration, like this conversation, private conversation, was then brought back to Alyssa via her mom, some other party goers, and she's thinking, okay, I believe my mother-in-law did that on purpose. She chose my mom specifically so that my mom would, because she knew my mom would come and tell me, and she's hoping that I will then invite her into the delivery room. And I want to address this because I want to make sure she knows going forward, this isn't working. Like, you can't manipulate the situation like this. And I feel like nothing will change if a conversation isn't had. But I'm really afraid I'm going to sound like, not a good daughter-in-law. So what would you do? Okay, first of all, two things can exist at the same time. She can show up, be supportive, not stress you out, do exactly what you tell her to do. She's that kind of mother-in-law, as she's telling you to your face. And in the privacy of her friend group, she can vent her frustrations. She can say, I'm freaking sad. I feel like I'm missing out. I'm frustrated. This is so different than when we had babies. It was a private conversation that I know you think was meant to get back to you, but what if it wasn't? So I just wanted to just say two things can be two things exist at the same time. She can be frustrated and sad while still showing up and being supportive, not stress you out, and just doing everything you tell her. She didn't try to stress you out by bringing her frustrations to you. She said it to her friends. I just want to make that clear. As far as if I don't talk to her because I think she was doing this to manipulate me, like, nothing's going to change. I've known her forever. Nothing will change. I don't know how that conversation would even go. I mean, frankly, to me, it feels like if I go talk to my mother-in-law after I know, like in your gut, you're saying, I know she told my mom to then get me to, invite her into the delivery room, like I'm being manipulated. It's almost like, in some ways, I'm showing her it worked. The whole telephone game, it worked. My mom did come and tell me everything. So I don't want to give her that if that was a tactic she was using. I would maybe instead just let my mom know, like, going forward, if you're uncomfortable with the conversation, feel free to set a boundary yourself. You could always just say, you know what, Shelly? I'm just not comfortable talking about the kids like this, but it does sound like you're frustrated or whatever. You could definitely just call and have a conversation yourself. So you could give that to your mom if she doesn't feel comfortable with this like style of conversation or venting. She could set the boundary, but I don't know, like, am I thinking about that right, you guys? Like, doesn't it seem as though I'm reaffirming, if that was truly the mother-in-law's intention to get Alyssa's mom to tell Alyssa, wouldn't I be like, I don't know, almost playing into her hand and be like, it worked, kinda, except for I'm like calling you out from it. I don't know, maybe that's weird, but I honestly think the real boundary here would be with the messenger. She could just say, like, I'm just not even going to participate in any of this. So she would shut it down for sure. And your mother-in-law would know, well, this actually is not going to work. Like, this won't be an avenue for me to utilize. Just my thoughts. Again, just objectively, not even thinking like she was trying to manipulate the whole situation and all that stuff. It does look like she was just having a private conversation with her friends. That private conversation got back to you, and now you feel like, oh, I have to do something. But I'm just curious, what if nothing would have happened? What if that was just a private venting of frustrations you would have went into labor, your husband goes back to work, she comes whenever she's invited, and nothing actually ever happened. I just think about that too. So sometimes, conversations said in private should stay there as well. So just my thoughts. Now you guys tell her what you think.